How you doing? I'm Nelson. I'm a licensed professional counselor and a nationally certified counselor. I work with youth and adults on a wide range of issues from depression, bipolar disorder, anxiety. I do a lot of community work and I do a lot of work with helping students in school as well.
I'm Angie D. Lee. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and intimacy coach, and I work with couples on helping them reignite passion, pleasure, and connection in their relationships.
Raising children, what are signs that a parent should fix sooner rather than later?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Good question. Here are a couple of things that we want to go for. We want our children to make sure our children know they are loved, whether that's demonstrative love, affirmative love. We want to make sure they know that they're loved. We want to make sure that they know that they're safe, that they're protected in the home, out the home, in the street. Your kids got to know if they call you and they're in trouble, that you may beat their butt later, but you're going to show up, with the wielding the machete now. They want to know that they're safe. They want to know that they're competent. And that's where so many parents fall down. We do it for our kids as opposed to giving them the room and the space to do it and learn how to do it and fail and fall down and get up again. They want to know that they're competent, otherwise they'll become codependent. And we want them to know that they're resilient, that they can have loss and recover, that they can fall down and get up. And I think where most parents fall down, or they think the kids know they're loved, because as a parent, we think, I'm feeding you, ain't I?
Right.
I'm clothing you, ain't I?
Right.
But we never just say, I just love you. I love you. Good, bad, right, wrong. Sometimes I don't like you, but I love you. We don't say that. I didn't say it as a parent. So I think that as parents, those things, let them know they're loved, let them know they're safe, let them know they're confident, let them know they have a choice, and let them know that they're resilient.
Yeah, she provided a lot of foundational things when it comes to child rearing that I thought was really, really cool that she pointed out. And you can definitely tell when she's definitely speaking from a place of working with a multitude of people, families and parents, but obviously her own experiences. And she shares that, I think, throughout the video too, about some of the areas where she felt like she dropped the ball as a parent. But, she's learned. And so she's providing that wisdom to others, but really what stuck out to me a lot was the competence part of it, teaching your children how to be competent. And it's so easy, just as a parent myself, it's so easy to want to kind of swoop in and save the day. And I think that happens a lot more with moms, a little bit more than with dads. I think dads tend to have a viewpoint of like, okay, you fell down. All right, get back up. You'll be all right. Where, we want to kiss the boo-boo and we want to rock and, we want to hold their hand through the whole process. But that competency is so important for building confidence in themselves and knowing that they're capable of making decisions, because when kids don't have that, that truly plays out in their adult lives and beyond, where if they were never provided an opportunity to fall, and to see what it's like to get back up over and over again. Not neglected though. There's a difference, and that's what she was speaking of. It's like, I'm here. Like I'm not going anywhere. I'm still in your peripheral view, but you have to learn how to pick yourself up sometimes and keep going, because how will you know what that looks like if I don't give you an opportunity to try? So I really appreciated that part from Iyanla. And I see that a lot too, when I'm working with clients as well. It's that struggle between how long do I hold on? And yeah, like, is this going to be where if I let go, will my kids hate me? And I think that's a fear too sometimes for a lot of parents. Like, if I let go, yeah, will they hold that against me? Will they grow resentful? But that can't be the main focus of parenting. So.
Yeah, no, I loved everything that she said. Everything she said were absolutely areas that I think we as parents need to focus in on, knowing that we're not going to hit every area perfectly. We're going to make mistakes in every area. I think the times that we're in, with the position that a lot of families are in, with a lot of broken families,
Mhm.
there's a tendency to focus on a specific need rather than looking at them as a whole. So you'll have a parent that, maybe a single parent, has to work two jobs. So the only thing that they can really focus on in their needs is providing them with shelter, providing them with food, and doing their best to kind of fill in all the other gaps, making sure they tell them as much as they can that they love them, but then they also have to focus on the discipline side of things,
Yeah.
because when you don't have that support from the other parent, you're picking up a lot of slack on your own. So you're being the disciplinarian, you're being the nurturer. There's so many more cracks to
Yeah.
fall in. When she originally started going kind of down her list, the immediate thing that it made me think of was Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
And so I think, in terms of like even getting like a baseline as a parent of like what areas we should start looking at with our, raising our children, the hierarchy of needs is the physiological needs, which is the shelter, food, water, clothing, things like that. The safety and security is next. So, you know, how that plays out in your family, feeling like you're a part of your family, love and belonging. So having the friendships, having the people inside of your social life that show you that you love, show you that you're a part of the tribe. Self-esteem, which are all
Mhm.
things that she was saying, things that are all parts of these
Yeah.
buckets. So instilling that confidence inside of the child, and that speaks directly to where she talked about uh, being able to let them fail,
Yeah.
giving them the strength of mind to be able to pick themselves up after they fall, and know that failing doesn't define you,
Yeah.
but it helps you to push forward and eventually reach the goal.
Yeah.
And the last one is the self-actualization, which is, for me, tends to be, I think I end up focusing on it the most. It's like your sense of morality,
Yeah.
your sense of creativity. So now I'm thinking about, with my kids, like what are the main things that I want to develop in my kids. I want to instill integrity in them,
Mhm.
instill loyalty, have them have a proper view of love,
Mhm.
having them to have the proper spiritual view.
Yeah.
Those things for me, those are the most important things, because it spills into all of the other areas. But what she said was spot on, and I think that she delivered it in a way that everybody, or most people, can digest it. I really love the way that she framed it.
Yeah, definitely. And I could even see, like, with Cam, throughout this video, kind of like the wheels turning in his head. It allowed him to kind of take some inventory of maybe some of the areas that he may not be putting a lot of attention on. So I think we all can kind of tell, like, the financial part and like the basic needs are there in terms of like the food, the shelter, whatever it is that you need. In that way, he's probably got that down. It's like, cool. And in a lot of areas, he's probably doing a lot of things we don't know. We're not in his household, but it definitely seems like there were some things that were kind of resonating with him. And like you said, the way she presents things and breaks it down almost to like that bare bones, very simple, so that no matter what level, is viewing the video, they can kind of, take something from it and be like, okay, I see what you're talking about. And then it allows for them to self reflect, but not necessarily feel like they're being judged. It's more so from the standpoint of, I'm going to present all this information to you, and I want you to kind of think about where you fall and where you could possibly make some adjustments, in your own life. And so I really love how she does that. I think that's really phenomenal.
And you also see the, like, kind of like the flip side of it too,
Mhm.
in terms of having looking at your child's needs and wanting to provide that safety and security, but because of the way that you were raised,
Mhm.
you learned a very unhealthy way of doing, or you try to do the exact opposite of what you were raised in. So a parent that was raised in a home where parents weren't around, they or bounced around from house to house, and so they don't have a sense of safety and security. They don't have a stable home structure, or a parent just wasn't in their life period. And then when they become a parent, what do? They become a helicopter parent. Now they're monitoring everything that you do, everything that you say. And while, yeah, it's a good thing that you are really in tune with the safety and security needs of your child, it can serve to push you further away from the child, just because you're not really focused on that area. You're more like hyper vigilant in that area, to where you're overdoing things and you're operating out of fear rather than operating out of love. So yeah, it's just, man, the parenting is people don't realize how much of a challenge it is, how much it reflects who you are and where you've been and what you've done. You know, it always kills me how parents can, how it seems like it's so easy sometimes for parents to not be inside of their child's life for whatever reason at all. It's just always been hard for me to accept that we just had such a cavalier attitude towards child rearing. It's just like it's lost its importance.
Yeah. We have so much power as parents. And so, I mean, we can't be responsible for every single thing that our child does as they continue to grow and they become adults. But we play a significant role. And there are some times where parents don't realize, whether you're present or not, you play a role. You will always play a role. So it can't be, even when you're really frustrated with your kids, it can't be all on them. You know, there's something that you've done to kind of set the foundation, and you have the power to do that. So yeah, I definitely hear you.